Puerto Rico has recently seen quite the rise in luxury property sales. Homes that were custom built just a year or two ago are already reselling for a profit, mainly in the coast part of the island. Our Francis Felix explains today how this is affecting locals of the area and the market.
Record-breaking properties on sale in the island. The high cost in luxury houses keeps increasing, but how could this affect the market? We interviewed two real estate brokers who told us how could this impact the Puerto Rican market.
The high cost in Puerto Rico is, I feel like the island has finally been discovered. I've lived here for 31 years, and I've always wondered, like, this place is beautiful. I don't understand why more people don't discover it. And I think a lot of it was initially people thought of it as a foreign culture. But I remember when one of my Act 60 guys said to me, "You mean I have to move to a tropical island to get tax benefits?" It's like, this is too good to be true. And when it started in 2012, that's what many people thought, like, there's got to be some catch. And as time goes on and as more people move here, they realize this is real. The prices are going high all over. At least I know all over the United States. They're going gangbusters.
It's because of the inflation?
I don't know what it is, and I have my own theory. My theory is fear. For some reason, I believe that what you speak happens. When people in 2008 started saying, oh, it's going to crash, it's going to crash, I thought they were crazy. I was like, people always buy houses. How can it crash? But it did. I mean, I personally came to a screeching halt. But I think when you start hearing the murmurs of, we're a fear-driven community, and I don't mean Puerto Rico, I mean people in general, whether it's fear that interest rates are going up or fear that the properties are going to dry up and there's not going to be any more properties. Fear. But what I am here to tell you is there is always opportunity. You know, there's little towns. We have how many municipalities? 64. There's still places to invest in real estate. And as far as the inflation, I'm completely puzzled. I consider myself an expert. When you lose millions and make millions, you're an expert. I'm an expert. I cannot for the life of me understand how we can come out of a pandemic where everybody's lost or unemployed and all of a sudden now all I'm doing is selling cash. I don't understand it, but we're not going to have a 2008 again because there's no mortgages.
This is something that it's only happening in Dorado, in places like Dorado. It's happening also in the metro area.
Excellent question. You know, people join a community like, okay, Dorado. Well, when these Act 60s come in, they have WhatsApp groups. They have groups where they're all connected. Oh, I'm in Dorado. Okay, I'm going to Dorado. Okay, Dorado. When Dorado got a little bit outrageous, well, then it was Palmas, and then it was St. Regis. And so as those communities fill, it's overflowing into all the other areas of Puerto Rico.
This high cost in the properties helps the locals?
Again, we go back to fear. Because what I've always been a big proponent of is buy your second home first. Buy your second home first. People are like, what does that mean? Buy your income producing properties. If we look at this, I am your perfect candidate because I won't tell you my age, but I'll tell indirectly. I have half my life here and half my life outside of here. I've been here 31 years. Did you do the math? So I am exactly the perfect one to ask. Does it hurt us? Does it help us? My children are Puerto Ricans. My grandchildren are Puerto Ricans. I worry about their future, but I also mentor them in how to invest. And what all of them have is an Airbnb property. If a local person wants to get ahead of the real estate game, they have to go into Airbnb.
The real estate broker Gerald Clays spoke in detail about a property located in the southeast of the island.
Actually, I have a pretty unique property. It's in Nahuatl. It's approximately 280 acres. A spectacular property that has a house of 800 square feet with a swimming pool, 7 bedrooms. It's a magnificent property. In addition, it has an amazing building which has 60 stables for horses, has a grand ballroom, a spectacular wine cellar, and it truly is an incredible property.
What is the asking price of the property?
For this property is $48 million. That's the asking price.
Reporting from Puerto Rico, Francis Felix.
All right, thanks so much for that report, Francis. Well, meantime, as Joey said, the 2022 Atlantic hurricane season officially begins next week, and forecasters are predicting yet another busy year with up to 21 named storms. Many in the Caribbean recall just how destructive Hurricane Dorian was in the Bahamas in 2019, and Irma and Maria caused widespread damage in the Virgin Islands and in Puerto Rico in 2017. Now, those are just a few to name here. So in the Caribbean, you know, of course, firsthand how the worry of another busy season causes. Our One Caribbean News' Emily Matson has more on this year's outlook.
The 2022 Atlantic hurricane season is expected to be a busy one.
NOAA is predicting an above normal 2022 Atlantic hurricane season, which would make this year the 7th consecutive above normal season.
With 70% confidence, NOAA predicts 14 to 21 named storms in 2022. 6 to 10 could become hurricanes, and 3 to 6 could be major hurricanes, packing winds of 111 miles per hour or higher. The reason? Climate.
We are in a continuing La Nina cycle right now. Impacts on things like the temperature of the ocean in the Atlantic, which is higher right now.
Those conditions can quickly generate storms that can do massive amounts of damage over a wider and wider part of the country.
Just last year, Hurricane Ida made a 9-state destructive trek across the United States. It affected coastal, urban, and suburban communities.
Experts urge families who could be in the path of a storm this year, especially here in the Caribbean, to get ready for anything.
Listen to your local officials, know what your risk is, and make that plan to make sure that you can protect your families.
It's crucial to remember that it only takes one storm to damage your home, neighborhood, and community.
The 6-month-long Atlantic hurricane season starts June 1st. Emily Matson, One Caribbean News.
Now, FEMA says recent storms have been more powerful, intensify quickly, and hover over land much longer than in previous years. Well, meantime, children in Trinidad and Tobago between the ages of 5 and 11 will soon start getting the COVID-19 jab on Wednesday. The Twin Island Republic is the first Caribbean country to receive and roll out the pediatric Pfizer COVID vaccine. The island received a donation of 43,200 doses from Spain on Monday. The health minister said the vaccine will be available at 30 different sites throughout Trinidad and Tobago. And speaking on the Now Morning Show on Tuesday, he said he hoped that the vaccination of the 5 to 11 age group will help reduce the number of COVID cases within the school system.
We see we do have cases in schools. It's not a cause for alarm at this point in time, but we can mitigate further cases in schools if we start to get more of about 12 to 18 vaccinated, and also now 5 to 11. Because the worst thing you want to do, Kimberly, is to keep children away from school. It is not good for their long-term social development, educational development, mental development, and their overall health. We must keep our schools open, and vaccinations is one of the ways to do it.
Now, the health minister did acknowledge that the demand for pediatric vaccines may not be as high as the demand for the 12 to 18-year-old vaccines.
We don't anticipate those numbers because now the Omicron variant is at hand, which is a much milder variant. The economy is fairly open. When we did the 12 to 18s, things were not, we were in a state of emergency, so circumstances have changed. But we welcome everyone. That is why we have expanded it to the number of sites so that parents and these little kids don't have to wait and get anxious, because that is the main thing we noticed with the 12 to 18. Not that the vaccines were causing mass side effects. There were 1 or 2 cases of inflammation, but most of the cases were due to anxiety. And we want to decrease that anxiety level by opening up and having many more sites so kids don't have to wait long.